Aliens?
Aliens.
Yes. But maybe no. Welcome to the show. Welcome back. We were doing a count. How many episodes is this?
If I counted correctly, which I'm not guaranteeing, this would be episode 17.
Holy crap.
Yeah, we're starting to know things.
Well, speaking on my behalf, I haven't learned shit. Let's start over. Welcome to the show, Aliens, yes, but maybe no, with Josh and Travis. I'm Travis.
Why are you talking so fast?
Because I fucked up the intro.
Oh,
Who are you?
I'm Josh.
This is an otherworldly podcast as ambiguous as our title.
That's a wrap.
Okay, good.
We got it.
All right. A wrap on the intro. Jeez,
Yeah.
Louise, what a rough start.
What'd we do last week?
I never know. Yeah, I always ask this question because I never know.
I know we did a quiz for this.
Uh-huh.
Man,
What did we do?
it changed my life. I know that.
Sky battles.
Oh, how could we forget Sky Battles? That one was so epic.
It was so cool. We absolutely forgot it once we hit turn off podcast.
Well, in our times of doubt, all we had to do was say Sky Battles and then we'd believe again.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Yep. When I'm looking at my life and I'm just thinking, I don't know if I can do it again, I remember that Sky Battles is a thing, that it theoretically existed. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I do the same thing. And then I make up my own Sky Battles too.
Yeah. Sky Battles are like my lasagna, to use a Garfield reference.
I'd rather you not.
Yeah, I kind of hated myself for using that as a reference.
Yeah, that was-
So yeah, we were talking about Sky Battles. I don't remember necessarily where we landed on it, just the concept of it fucking rules.
I think we landed on there was a lot of old documentation and we can't prove it.
Right.
But we can't discount it. I mean, for me, I couldn't discount it, especially with the LA one. I think you landed on it was nerves.
Yes, because everything was so heightened. This was right around World War II.
Yeah, it was
Right.
3 months after Pearl Harbor.
Uh-huh. And so everybody was on the look,
They're ready.
on the watch. Yep.
Yeah.
So because this is the 17th episode,
Special.
I thought it would be nice to get a little bit of feedback. And so before the show, Josh said, oh, well, guess what? Through my editing, I found that we can get feedback. It's going to be an AI doing it.
Yeah. It's harsh,
Okay.
but great. We're going to take these criticisms like champions.
I'm really scared.
No, it's good. It is good.
I do not have a history of dealing with criticism very well.
Well, luckily, this is not a real person criticizing you, just zeros and ones. I first asked for some gentle criticism because I wasn't ready, and it was okay. And I said, could you be a little less gentle? And the AI said, all right, you asked for it.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
A rambling mess.
Uh-huh.
Your conversational style is just an excuse for aimless rambling. You jump from topic to topic like a caffeinated squirrel, and it's impossible to follow. Get a script or at least a damn outline and stick to it.
We have an outline.
We do have an outline. We don't
This
always
is
stick
really
to
harsh.
it. It is. I asked for it. And then skepticism is shield. Your constant dismissal of anything out there makes you sound like a closed-minded know-it-all.
Uh-oh.
You're so busy trying to sound smart that you're missing out on the actual fun of exploring these topics. If you're going to be skeptical, you should change the name of the show to Things That Don't Exist According to Us.
I feel like that is a personal attack on me, and I'm being read for filth here. That is very upsetting.
That one does seem aimed towards you.
Yes, it does.
I'm wondering if I should ask it for criticisms for each of us individually.
Oh, so you just put my name in there.
No. I said
It's like I
said
really
the show.
need something to talk to Travis about to fill those awkward silences that we have before the show. Please give me something mean to say to him. He's always so nice to me.
How can I get Travis to believe? I have AI on my side.
Oh,
We're going to
man.
get you.
Okay. Well,
So then it says, structure what structure? This podcast has less structure than a bowl of jelly. It's just two people talking about whatever pops in their head. It's chaotic and frustrating to listen to. Get some organization or you'll lose any listener that doesn't have the attention span of a goldfish.
okay, that's good. That's good. Good criticism. So we're not podcasting anymore. I don't know how to change this.
No, I think it's fun.
Maybe this is something that we revisit every 17 episodes. So on the
We
34th episode, we're going to go back and see if it's changed its criticism.
Yeah,
So, good new segment, maybe?
maybe.
Hit us up in the comments.
Yeah.
Let's open it up to listener feedback, which was, I think, another criticism. We don't have enough listener feedback.
Honestly, we don't have listener feedback yet. We haven't received a lot of emails because as of now, there's only 4 episodes released and we're on 17. I don't know if they need to know that. But today, we're talking about one of the big topics, the topics that I had some kind of information about even before I delved into this whole world.
Yeah, this is something that we saw happening in real time in our life. Right? We saw these things play out.
Yeah, I remember some of them. So today we're discussing one of the strangest mysteries of modern times. Are crop circles the work of mischievous artists, a natural phenomenon misunderstood, or could they be evidence of something far more extraordinary? So for centuries, these strange formations have baffled farmers, scientists, and skeptics alike. Some believe they're nothing more than the elaborate hoaxes, clever tricks played under the cover of darkness. Others are convinced there's something else. Messages from another world, glimpses of a hidden technology, or even result of a phenomenon beyond human understanding.
Yeah, like intergalactic gas stations.
Yeah.
And these are just the road signs that direct you there.
It could be. Now that you said it, I 100% believe it.
Okay.
I believe everything I hear and see. So crop circles, they might seem like a modern phenomenon, but they haven't just been recently. They go back for centuries, maybe even longer. Before anyone had drones, GPS, or even electricity, strange formations were appearing in the fields around us. From what our researcher found, one of the earliest was the 9th century in France, but it was kind of, I don't know, they talked about pagan practices and them going and picking up seeds from a circle formation to use in a fertility ceremony. But I mean...
Right, but that is actually a way of collecting seeds, is just by mashing plants down. That was a primitive way of collecting seeds.
Oh, I thought you were saying walking in circles.
Yeah, I mean, and walking in circles. You could walk in a square to collect seeds. It's any geometric pattern.
Not the pagans. They did circles.
They love their circles.
Yeah. 1678, there was the news pamphlet titled The Mowing Devil. And that was kind of discredited a little bit. This one was different than all the other crop circles because the crops were actually cut, not bent. So it's considered an early example of folklore related to the mysterious patterns.
How were they cut? Would you say laser precision?
They were saying that it was cut. It wasn't laser precision, but it was so perfect.
Did they have lasers back then in 1678?
Aliens probably did. They said it was cut so perfect that a human wouldn't be able to do it. Because, I mean, back then, they were using sickles. Yeah, so they said it was just too perfect.
Scissors.
Shears, possibly.
It could be shears.
Yeah. 1686, Robert Plot, a professor at Oxford, writes about and draws pictures of a circular formation appearing in fields near his home, attributing them to flashes of light. He also notes animals avoiding these areas, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And then 1880, John Rand Caprone, an amateur scientist, writes a letter to nature, which is funny.
He wrote a piece of paper down and then just threw it in the woods.
Yeah. He's throwing his letter into the ocean.
Yeah.
He describes circular areas of flattened crops formed under suspicious circumstances after a storm in Surrey, suggesting cyclonic wind action as a possible cause.
Okay. So what do you think about those, Josh, after reading that?
The devil, I truly believe that Satan showed up. No,
Well, the story is that a guy wanted to have he had like 3 acres of land and he wanted it cut. He asked another farmer to cut it. And there was like a bit of a disagreement and he said he'd rather have the devil do it. And that's how this started. And then there was a fire that happened. And then the next morning, it looked like it was cut.
Interesting. It's weird that people freaked out about it. So someone was lying somewhere.
I mean, yeah. Like,
it made it into the news.
Sometimes calling something like the mowing devil is a little Rumpelstiltskin-esque, where it's just like kind of a fable that ended up getting printed instead of told orally.
Yeah, that could be.
Like through stories.
Or it was a slow news day.
Yeah, it was a slow news day. Yeah. They're just like looking around, whatever. And they're like, we really got to print something.
Yeah, a new giraffe was born at the zoo.
We've got the newspaper boy standing out front, just eager to deliver a paper. We got to put something out.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this kind of goes back. I mean, these are so old. It kind of reminds me of the Sky Battles a little bit, where it's just, I don't know how they wrote and talked. I'm not a professor of ancient scripts.
Yeah.
And some of these are so old that it's kind of hard without context of the time. But it does show that people are fascinated, even in the older times, enough to keep record of it.
Well, do you think this was an isolated experience, or they wrote about this one specific experience because they'd been noticing these trends happening?
I think it was an isolated event. I mean, it was a pamphlet just for that one farmer's field about his oats being cut in circular patterns overnight. But, I mean, people were spooked back then, too. They didn't really have science. So anything science or anything out of the ordinary day would spook people.
So there's a transcript of this Hertfordshire woodcut, right? In 1678, the one we're talking about, the Mowing Devil.
Yeah.
The Mowing Devil, or Strange News out of Hertfordshire, being a true relation of a farmer who, bargaining with a poor mower about the cutting down 3.5 acres of oats upon the mower's asking too much. The wording on this is a little weird. It's antiquated. The farmer swore that the devil should mow it rather than he, and lo, it fell out. And that very night, the crop of oats, shewed as if it had been all of a flame, but next morning appeared so neatly mowed by the devil or some infernal spirit that no mortal man was able to do the like. Also, how the said oats lie now in the field, and the owner has not power to fetch them away.
So he's saying that he potentially cursed the field.
Yeah.
Like he summoned the devil.
I don't think I should do it. The fucking devil should do it.
Interesting.
And then he came, and then the devil was like, you know what? I never do anything half-assed. I'm going to make sure this looks good.
I've been a bad boy long enough.
Plus,
I'm going to do something nice.
Fire's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to show fire so people know it's a devil, and then it'll be precisely cut.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Slow day in hell, too. The devil's just like, you know what? I think I really missed an opportunity. Ruling over the underworld, great. Very fulfilling. Maybe not for me. I think that I should have gotten into landscaping.
It's possible that humans today are so disconnected from the land and spirituality
100%.
that olden times they were connected and could tap into what a lot of people doubt exists nowadays.
Are you saying that the land then is like the phones now?
I'm just saying magic could have existed at one point.
We're so connected to our phones.
Yeah, we are.
I'm looking at one right now.
So those are old ones.
Mm-hmm.
These are just examples in the olden days that have come up of circles in crops. But what really has the world enthralled is the modern day ones.
Because that's where we live in the modern day.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I'm in the future.
Do you go in the past?
I don't think about the past too much, but I think about the future a lot. And then I just get sad.
I think about the past all the time.
So in the 20th century, as sightings of UFOs become more common, reports of crop circles exploded. And what were once simple rings in the grass became sprawling complex formations of geometric shapes, spirals, and fractals. Some witnesses have even reported seeing orbs floating above fields before the appearance of crop circles.
So you're a math guy. Could you explain to us what a fractal is?
Yeah.
No pressure?
Is the fractal the image that no matter when you zoom in and out, it is still the same image? What's a fractal?
It's a shape that just repeats. So a fractal is a mathematical shape that exhibits a repeating pattern that appears infinitely complex. Fractals are self-similar across different scales, meaning that any small part of the fractal resembles the whole. Each one relates to the bigger.
So a small piece looks like the bigger piece, but a bunch of small pieces make the bigger piece.
I think so.
That's kind of what I was saying. Like whether you zoom in or out, it still looks the same.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I was on it a little bit.
Exactly, nailed it.
Yeah.
And they're created through a continuous feedback loop that involves repeating a simple process over and over. Fractals are often found in nature, such as in trees, clouds, mountains, rivers, coastlines, and seashells. So think of like a conch, those horn shells that you see a lot of people, you know.
Is it a conch or a conch?
I don't know, a conch. That's how I've heard it.
We could both be wrong. It could be sanch.
Yeah, maybe it's sandwich.
Sanke. So there's a lot of things in modern times, a lot of sites. I mean, thousands and thousands. So we're going to kind of just touch on a few.
I would say probably like hundreds, not thousands and thousands.
I mean, it's worldwide, right? And it's been going on for...
We're talking about modern day.
Yeah. So 1932, archaeologist E.C. Kerwin observes dark rings in a barley field in Stoughton Down, noting the barley was lodged or beaten down. 1937, a British science journal reports circles found in a barley field includes one of the first photographs of a crop circle. In 1940, David Wood reports making crop circles near Gloucestershire.
Sure.
Using ropes.
What does that mean? Using ropes. Crop circles near Gloucestershire.
I would imagine he was wrapping ropes around it and then pulling them down. Or maybe he was using the ropes to hold the things down in a circular way, like stakes and ropes.
Okay, so that would explain some of the controversy around crop circles that we'll talk about. The two British engineers that used sticks, right? Or they used a plank of wood and rope and were stepping on it. And they said it was breaking the plants. You could see where they were bent or had snapped.
Yeah, it was breaking and bruising.
Using a rope would probably rectify that and be a little more gentle, which we are seeing in some of these other documentations of crop circles, right? Maybe, possibly. I'm not a crop circle scientist. That's a cereologist.
Yeah, we found that out. I was hoping you'd remember because I did not remember. Yeah. A cereologist, one who studies crop circles.
Well, yeah, it's Greek for, I believe, one of the Greek gods, Ceres, maybe? Cereal? The god of cereal? Cerealaria?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's essentially where we get the word cereal from, which is grain.
Yeah, the god of harvest.
Yep.
So 1945, a balloonist, which is a funny profession, working for the RAF parachute training school, takes a photograph of a crop circle. 1952, the U.S. Air Force investigates circles found in Kansas. And then 1963, Sir Patrick Moore, an astronomer, investigates flattened circular and elliptical areas in wheat fields in Sharon, noting spiral flattening. Hugh Ernest Butler suggests lightning strikes as a possible cause for similar craters.
Sorry, I got lost. I was looking up balloonist jokes.
Oh.
I saw a lion get into a hot air balloon basket. It caused quite an uproar.
Oh, come on now, you... So another current modern sighting, 1966.
Really nailing the landing on these balloon jokes.
Oh my gosh.
Get it?
I do. 1966, a farmer named George Pedley.
You might say we're full of hot air.
Oh my gosh.
Get it?
I do. I will get all of them. A farmer named George Pedley was driving his tractor through a remote field in Tully, Queensland.
Oh, now we're in Australia.
Yeah. This one will really get you. Suddenly, he saw a metallic disc-shaped object rising from the swamp, leaving behind a perfect circular impression in the reeds. This became known as the Tully UFO nest. Scientists tried to explain it away. Some suggest whirlwinds, others plasma vortexes, and then some said maybe it was fish swimming in circles so aggressively that they flattened the reeds. But in 2012, farmers in Tasmania also discovered mysterious crop circles in their opium fields. Turns out, redneck wallabies were sneaking into the fields.
Not to be confused with redneck Americans.
Or blue-collared wallabies.
Or blue-collar wallabies. Or white-collar wallabies.
Yeah. They were sneaking into the fields, munching on the poppies, getting stoned out of their minds, and then hopping around in dazed circles until they collapsed.
Yeah, they just had like a cool-ass dance party. They got hopped up in goofballs and just like had the time of their life. I love this so much.
I think this explains all crop circles.
I think I'm going to start thinking about this when I'm feeling low.
Yeah, this and sky battles.
Yeah, just wallabies getting high on opium and just living their best life.
It's amazing.
Oh, man, wallabies.
So here's a really great one. Next to the wallabies, which is always going to be number one. 1974, a team of scientists led by Dr. Frank Drake and assisted by Carl Sagan.
Heard of him?
Heard of him much? Beamed a powerful radio message into space known as the Arecibo message, sent from the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico. It was humanity's first attempt at interstellar communication, a binary code transmission aimed at the globular star cluster M13 some 25,000 light years away.
You want to say globular again?
Globular? This message was packed with information. Our DNA structure, the makeup of human life, a simple diagram of our solar system, and even a pixelated figure of what we look like.
So if you look this up, you can look up the Arecibo message online or as you're listening. In fact, I encourage you to do it.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
We're going to talk a little bit about it. It was kind of like setting up the message so you knew how to read it, right? Which is important. So the top, it shows our number system 1 through 10. Not in binary, but I don't know what style of code this is, but if you look at it, there's like 1, and it's just basically filling in squares so you can understand this is a 1, this is a 2, on up to 10, right? And then underneath that was using that same communication style or that same code, they communicated that we were carbon-based. And then I can't remember what the next couple lines are. Then there's an image of the satellite, and then there's very pixelated. It looks kind of like an Atari graphic, pixelated version of a human being.
And then it shows the DNA structure, kind of like the helix.
The double helix.
Yeah. I don't remember what that green stuff was.
Mutagen. That's what transformed the Ninja Turtles.
Could be.
Green goo.
Globular goo.
Any chance now to just work that into conversation. Globular. So it's a pretty clever way to communicate pretty complex information, I think.
Yeah, I would not have thought of this.
You, Josh Snodgrass, wouldn't have thought of this?
Yeah, I mean, I pride myself of thinking.
Good thing we had world-renowned science fiction writer and philosopher Carl Sagan on the case to take care of it for us.
Was he a science fiction writer?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I thought he was a science nonfiction writer.
He did both.
Oh.
And his son also is a science fiction writer.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So this was in 1974. They beamed all this information up into the space, into the unknown, expecting in 50,000 years that they would get a response. Maybe, hopefully.
Carl Sagan wrote Contact.
Whoa, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But in August of 2001, nearly 3 decades later, something did respond, but not in the way anyone expected. And definitely not as fast as they expected.
So 2001, we got a return.
We got a return
to
answer.
Something that we sent out in 1974.
Yeah, because the star was 25,000 light years away.
Right.
They're expecting it to take 50,000 or more years to even make it over there. So in the field next to the Chilbolton radio telescope in England, a massive crop formation appeared overnight. Unlike typical crop circles, this one was different because it was an almost perfect replica of the Arecibo message, but with some odd changes. Instead of a carbon as the building block of life, the message indicated silicone.
Which is a building block that's used in a lot of like science fiction novels. It's something that's like a theoretical building block of life because, I can't remember. You need like 4 components to come together, and carbon is the most common and easy way here. But silicone also requires like 4 components or something like that. And so it's theorized that, silicone could also be a building block. Also boron, a version of boron.
Huh. That's fascinating. It goes on describing that instead of a human figure, the reply depicted a shorter being with large head and wide staring eyes, which basically it just looks like an alien. Your typical alien.
I like this response so much because this is, we talked about this on earlier shows, like the universe is huge and we don't know what
makes life.
What makes life. We know what makes life here, but because the universe is so big and the equation that could cause life in another galaxy far, far away could be something completely different and be so foreign to what we know here and are familiar with.
Yeah, we've talked about it. It doesn't make sense. Just because on Earth, A plus B equals C, carbon plus all this equals life. That's not what is happening in other places.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Right.
In their reply, where we had listed Earth's population around 4 billion, the new message showed a staggering 21 billion, which made me think, oh, is this aliens or are these humans from the future?
Yeah, or maybe it's like some kind of Valerian type situation. The city of 1,000 planets.
Oh, I hope.
Like that's to me, that's so wild. Like, do they have a mayor of the city that has 1,000 planets? Think about 1,000 Earths. Imagine those town halls.
It's probably going to be like on Star Wars. Just that big room, that big
like
tunnel.
It's like a big
cylinder.
Stadium.
Yeah, and it's just...
They're all on little platforms, and you get a xenomorph and an ET and a Yoda.
They were there. I love that.
Yeah, it's funny.
But they did send in their reply their solar system, and it looked as though, because the message that we sent, it shows all of the planets, and then Earth, the third one from the sun, the little block is up, signifying that this is where we are. When they replied, they sent their solar system, and there was 3 planets that were raised, and then another one that was something else. It was like basically 4 squares with an empty square in the middle, signifying maybe a artificial structure, or no one really knows what that is.
So in their response, there was like their alignment within their own galaxy.
Yeah, in their solar system, in the planets in the solar system that they live in. So the Arecibo reply, as it's been called, has never been explained, and no one has ever stepped forward to claim responsibility for making it if it was fake, if it was a hoax. That one was probably my favorite one out of all of them. I mean, there's other really great ones, but this one, it's just super neat.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it could be faked as well. I mean, it took 13 years before these two jokers admitted to making those crop circles. You never know. It could be otherworldly.
Yeah.
Because there was, 26-year gap?
Yeah, it was a decent gap.
27-year gap between Carl Sagan's message and the response.
Yeah.
That information was out there. Like, it wasn't put in a time capsule and buried in the dirt.
Yeah.
It was known that we were trying to make contact. I mean, this was through the 80s and 90s, growing up.
Yeah, I learned about it in
was a
school.
big part of sci-fi, and that we had tried to reach out, yeah.
Yeah. So that was the Arecibo
in Chilbolton
reply, yeah.
So I find this I wouldn't say sus. And I know that there's reports of crop circles popping up all over the place, and a lot more, especially after these hoaxes in England were brought to light, right?
Right.
Why, though, are they mostly in the UK? So the pranksters are from the UK. The two old-timey 1686 or whatever the year was, and then the 9th century, those were in Europe, or almost specifically in the UK part of Europe.
Yeah.
A lot of these that we're talking about now, like Chilbolton, the response to Carl Sagan, that was in Europe. Why this part of the world?
So there's chalk quarries under the ground in UK that are really good conductors of electromagnetic frequencies.
Okay.
I mean, if it's a hot spot for something like that, if they can use Earth or harness Earth to help them create some of these messages, I mean, that's definitely a possibility, but it's not just in UK. It's all around the world. It's just the ones that are above the quarries have different attributes and they last longer.
Well, we're seeing that with the ghost formations, right? Where the ones that last a little longer. I was just curious why, and all of these sightings that we had talked about here, those were all in the UK.
I think we mentioned one in Kansas, but I think the big ones are in the UK. Some of the more prominent ones in the realm of crop circles. Also, I think the UK media was fascinated by this. And with the media, scientists in that area, they were fascinated. I don't think the rest of the world had the resources or the intrigue to delve into it. And the military as well, the Royal Military.
RAF.
Yeah. They were investigating.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's just UK. I think UK is a hot spot.
I didn't say it was just UK. I'm just asking why a lot of these, we're talking about the ones that are in the UK, and that seems primarily where everybody is focused.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever you know about crop circles come from these recorded instances of crop circles that are all in the UK.
And maybe it's because of past relationships. Maybe the pagans.
I mean, we talk about Stonehenge a lot, but there's a lot of henges that are out there. Those were used, and they're not really sure, but a henge is just like a little hill that has a ditch on the inside of it. And then these stones are centered around the top part of the hill, and then it drops down. And then there's a raised part on the inside with other stones. There are other henges, which we can talk about a little further in the reading, but they are all throughout the UK as well.
Yeah. And maybe the pagans were in contact and were able to communicate back and forth through these signs. And maybe these extraterrestrials or aliens.
Like that you're just like, yeah, the pagans.
Well, I mean, the pagans were the ones that created Stonehenge and all these other
allegedly.
Yes. But maybe some of these older civilizations and older groups were able to contact them, and that's how they're still contacting us today.
Pagans, like their big characteristic is how tied to the earth they are, right?
Yeah.
A lot of their rituals and things are very, I wouldn't say agrarian because that's like more farmer, but like dirt and wood and rain and forest. They're like very earthy.
Yeah, they were definitely Mother Earth influenced.
Sure. So yeah, maybe they just were more attuned to the earth because that was part of their culture. There's another, I think it's just like off the coast of Australia. When you talk to them, they give you directions. Like you say, how are you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm doing north by northwest, but they'll give you exact coordinates of how they're facing. And that's how they communicate. So they're very aware of where they are situated in the world. And so maybe pagans were like that, where they had just developed a culture so earth-based
Possibly.
that they could, maybe they were more, I guess, sensitive is the word I'm looking for. They're more sensitive to things that are happening here on the Earth. So they're more attuned to feeling those electromagnetic lines or impulses the Earth is putting off, where we might feel them if pressed, but it's not something that we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, we're distracted tenfold.
Yeah. And I got a pocket full of electromagnetism.
Yeah. It's possible that these pagan groups were closer to what the aliens perceived as ready to be contacted than we are today, or even back then, the people outside the pagan communities were very violent and evil.
Mm.
And so that's why they were contacted or were able to be talked to, and they were talking back. Same with Native Americans. They had a lot of really intense encounters. They had areas marked that were potential portals to other galaxies for alien races. I mean, there was a lot of down-to-earth, earthy civilizations that seemed to be a little more advanced in the contact of alien life than the normal Joe Schmo. So maybe there's something to it. Possibly. I hope. We just need to get there.
Okay, you first.
You first.
Get rid of your phone.
You first. No. So you did mention Stonehenge.
Huh?
2011, on July 13th, 2 crop circle formations appeared in the fields of Wiltshire, England. One was near Stonehenge and the other on Windmill Hill. The Windmill Hill formation spanned over 400 feet and was arranged in a double spiral pattern.
That double spiral looks like, in a cartoon when a character gets bonked on the head and then its eyes go into like spirals.
Yeah.
That's what this looks like.
I was thinking the hypnotizing glasses.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So some researchers propose that these double spirals symbolize colliding neutron stars, a cosmic event that can lead to the formation of a magnetar, which sounds like a Pokemon, an ultra-magnetized neutron star. Shortly after these formations appeared, astronomers observed the outburst of a new magnetar designated Swift J1822.3-1606 on July 14th, 2011. So July 13th is when this happened. July 14th is when they observed this magnetar. It was bonkers.
I was just looking up a magnetar because I had no idea what it is. It's it's a Pokemon. It's got like a little U shape on its head.
Is it actually a Pokemon?
No.
Oh.
Nope, but it could be. You believed me.
I did.
When I said it's got a little like U shape on its head. Yeah, you can picture it.
Yeah.
Looks like a magnet. Magnetar is a type of neutron star with an extremely powerful magnetic field, about 1,000 times stronger than a normal neutron star and 1 trillion times stronger than Earth's.
Yeah.
You want to talk about our guys, Doug and Dave Chorley?
Yeah.
Okay. So in 1991, these 2 jokesters, Doug Bauer, Dave Chorley, Doug and Dave, I believe they were engineers. They said they've been creating crop circles for the last 13 years plus. Now, the origin of that date is in flux, but it was sometime in the mid to late 70s is when they started. And they believe that it started as like a joke in a pub.
Okay.
Right?
Just some goofballs goofing around.
Just a couple of goofballs, they're well old. And the way they did it was pretty clever. They took, and we talked about this at the top of the show, just a piece of board, then got a rope. They made 2 holes in the board, one on either end, put a piece of rope through that, and then they put their foot on that board and then use the rope, holding onto the rope. They would use that to smash the wheat or the grass or whatever medium they were working in at the time. And you're like, well, Travis, that's all great and all, but how did you get these great circles and how did they get so symmetric? Symmetric in air quotes. They had fixed to their hat this little wire with a circle, and then they would use that. They would focus on something off in the distance and just keep that. And it's not perfect. It's just like a really easy lo-fi workaround, but they would keep that in that little circle, and that's how they would make straight enough lines. Now, because that was the way they were doing it, their lines weren't exactly straight, and that's why when we're looking at other crop circles, they look more clean. But these early versions didn't look like, they weren't like laser cut or like they were done by the mowing devil. So sharp and clean lines. But I just thought that was a really clever way to have figured this out. I mean, you can get in and out of a field with basically things that you'd find around your house to make these crop circles.
Yeah.
And if somebody who sees you walking around, you just throw a board and a rope on the ground and nobody's going to think twice about it, right?
Yeah, I think the farmers thought a lot about it because they're ruining their crops.
I'm just saying, like, these guys, if you saw somebody walking around with a board and rope, nobody's going to think twice about what they were up to or what they were doing.
Yeah, I would think that they were really working on the farm.
Yeah,
probably.
or you know, you didn't want to be caught carrying this thing around. You just throw a board and rope on the ground, and it just looks like a board and rope on the ground.
That's true.
Who knows what that could be used for?
Yeah, a swing.
Yeah, absolutely, a swing. So it could have been anything. So I just think it was like a really clever way to do that. And I think because these guys were obviously fond of alcohol, they thought of this idea.
And they're engineers, so they have good minds.
But I also think that they talked about it. Like they were in pubs and they were talking about this prank. And I think that they found some like-minded people that maybe zhuzhed it up a little bit. And they were able to get more precise circles. In some cases, I'm not throwing out that it's an indicator or a road sign directing aliens to fuel or food or whatever it is that they're here looking for, a point of interest. It's like when you're driving on the highway and you see those signs, it's like a historical site up ahead. Maybe that's what this is, where the aliens are coming in to observe a certain part of early human civilization. Maybe that's why it's near the henges.
Yeah.
Could be, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe they love chalk. They eat chalk. Who knows? Whatever it is that they're here for. Like in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, they're just stopping by for a snack.
Yeah, it could be.
Anyway, I think that is a possible scenario that they had, gotten drunk. And as you do, you tend to be a little braggadocious and you talk about some of the things that you've been up to and, word spread. And maybe somebody else heard the story, maybe a little more inclined or was able to improve upon this very simple idea.
Yeah, there's definitely, I believe, copycats all around the world
100%.
That were copying their techniques once these guys came forward.
Mm-hmm. But they found a different way. Like this was a very rudimentary way to do this. And somebody was like, told their mom and dad, I want to grow up to be a cereologist and make crop circles. And then they got laughed out of their house. And then suddenly their parents are watching nightly news and they're seeing these crop circles and they're like, oh my God, he finally did it. He actually pulled it off.
A dad's nod of approval.
Yeah.
All right.
Attaboy. You did it. We said you couldn't do it, but you did it. It's kind of like our parents with us starting a podcast.
Yeah. You're right.
They're like, what? I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. I remember seeing this in the news. It was in the 90s.
Yeah, 91.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the crop circles, they were part of like international news in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. It was huge.
Mm-hmm. People couldn't wrap their head around it. And so these two guys claimed to have made over 200 of these things.
Yeah, which is a shit ton.
And they had, little diagrams that they'd use. So they'd draw it out, these little patterns.
And there's still today groups and organizations that make these.
They use it for like advertising. Like Mountain Dew had a crop circle, and
well, those are tractors. Just like how they
I know,
make
but
the
I mean,
mazes.
like just saying that this spurred that. Like they think that the reason that they came forward is because there were other copycats, and other copycats were getting approached by advertisers or whatever, and then they were getting paid to go out and do these crop circles. And so these guys were like, well, wait, we invented this, kind of. In a way, not invented it, but, made it more popular.
Yeah.
We're not getting paid. So there's also some controversy there that's why they may have come out when they did. A little bit of professional jealousy.
There is some problems with their claims, though. I mean, obviously, they took credit for a whole bunch of these. A whole bunch of them were fake, but there's a big difference between the fake ones and the real ones.
What do you mean fake? They're all crop circles.
Well, there's fake ones that these guys made.
Those are real crop circles.
But the real crop circles that are unexplained have some...
I don't like that term where real and fake because they're all crop circles. I think you can say human and then maybe otherworldly, but like they're all crop circles. So they're not real or fake ones.
Well, they were imitating.
These guys weren't imitating. These guys were just doing this whole cloth. I don't think crop circles were a known phenomena like they are now.
I mean, there was prior reports.
Right, but I don't think these guys had access to these prior reports. This was like well before internet. I mean, you'd have to be like a historian, and these guys weren't historians, they were engineers.
So the extraterrestrial or otherworldly crop circles, they had very strange things that were not just bent plants from a plank. They did not snap. They actually were just gently slanted over all the way down, and they would still grow. And then they would also have kind of small mutations, the plants, where scientists found out that only way that could happen was because of radiation, like microwave radiation, where some of the little nodes on the stems of the plant would expand, very similar to how popcorn expands in the microwave, how it just kind of eventually pops. But these would just kind of elongate and expand. Also, the patterns got really complicated, and it wasn't just a simple piece of wood or stepping on these plants. They said it moves kind of like water, where it just kind of flows, and sometimes they cross over or hatch.
Sure, like a lattice,
Yeah.
or it will look woven instead of smashed.
So they definitely did contribute to the crop circle phenomenon, but attributing all the formations to their activities it just isn't possible because ridiculous amount of these crop circles have attributes that can't be done by a human, especially with primitive tools that they were using. Also, some more scientific stuff, they had magnetic glaze. So when you look at it through a microscope, you can see spheres of magnetized meteorite and iron in some of the formations, suggesting that the fields were exposed to high temperature events. Fire, devil, maybe. A lot of electromagnetic effects that we talked about before with the chalk quarries underneath. Those are good conductors to help with that.
Mm-hmm.
People who have medical devices inside of them or who are pregnant, they have to kind of avoid those areas because the electromagnetic effects can alter them. Even one example where a woman's thyroid that was too big, she went and sat in a field in a crop circle for a couple hours or a few hours.
I know that sounds so woo to me though. I don't know that I believe that at all.
We don't have to believe it, but it's documented and they had doctors there observing her and watching it. Another one that you mentioned earlier, the ghost formations, the persistence of the crop circle patterns in the soil, even after plowing it, it's still there, sometimes for multiple seasons. So you can you can constantly keep seeing the crop circles up to a couple of years. And then the location correlation, a study showed 98% of non-man-made formations in South England were over the chalk aquifers. There's also mathematical messages. What they're saying is that all of these non-man-made crop circles, they're usually encoded with messages. So the Arecibo reply, like we talked about, was in binary code communicating to us. And then the Julia set resembles precise and complex mathematical fractal patterns. And then there's one in 2008 with a pi formation, and it kind of showed in a circular kind of record style way the first 10 digits of pi, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So in conclusion, we've explored the history of strange formations stretching back centuries. Are crop circles an evolving form of man-made art, a message from an unknown intelligence, or simply a naturally occurring formation? And it sounds like it could be all of it.
It's definitely... Yes, I believe it could be all.
Yeah.
It's definitely not none.
Right. I'm with you on that, where, there is a little bit of everything, for sure. So when it comes to aliens, yes, no, or maybe.
Uh-oh.
I'm a yes man on the alien aspect. Some were man-made, we know that, but some have phenomenal proof that it was not man-made and it's not natural, especially with communicating some of these images and messages. I mean, nature can't communicate and respond back.
Yeah.
So I would say aliens, absolutely. For me, I think the proof is there. What about you? What do you think?
I think it's a maybe. I don't think that there's enough proof that it's aliens. I would like to believe, because this is like a kind of clever way to communicate. I just think that it's, of all the mediums you could choose to communicate to us information, like they said one of these crop circles was made and it looked like a non-symmetric shape, and they couldn't figure it out until they put it in like a 3D generator.
Yeah.
And they were able to look at it. And I think that is clever. And I think they were able to make, like after they put it in this generator, they were able to make something that didn't work. But that doesn't necessarily mean that information wasn't communicated correctly. That could have just been human error.
Yeah,
if that's the case,
or we don't have the right things.
But I don't think there's enough definitive proof for myself to say that this is 100% yes, aliens did this, because then like there is a human element to this, right? There are people that were making crop circles, and there is a way to do this, and there has been ways to do this by man. So to say that it's aliens, yes or no, I don't think that does this topic justice, right? But in the context of the show, we have our arbitrary ruling at the end, yes, no, or maybe. I'm going to say maybe.
Okay. I think it backs up a galactic federation, because why would you communicate in that style? Why wouldn't you just come down and communicate with us?
Yeah. Maybe they have. Like that's...
Oh, yeah.
We talked about this before. Like alien language could be something as subtle as leaves blowing across the ground. It could be something as complicated as the way, a quarry is formed or whatever. Yeah. It could be any number of things.
Or the governments are hiding that they have made contact.
Well, that's not what I'm interested in. I don't.
Oh, I am.
I know. We're talking about communication, the way they are trying to communicate to us, if that is indeed what this is. It's novel. It's just weird. Why is it centered around agrarian places? Like, this is not done just like out in the wilds of Africa. This is done on farms. So agrarian, this is where a civilization, and maybe that's because this is the highest likelihood
that we'll see it.
We'll see it. They put it next to roads more often than not. That also leads itself to being a hoax. Like, if you are a human being, where are you going to want to go? You're going to want to go somewhere where you're not going to have to travel 1,000 miles, and you're going to want to be able to have people see it.
Well, what if in this Galactic Federation, they're not...
What's this Galactic Federation you're talking about? I thought it was a joke. Is this serious?
No. What if they're not allowed to contact Earth, and these are some of the rebel species, the rebel aliens that are like, yeah, no, we're going to do it, but subtly.
Maybe. That's okay. This is the first time I've heard this Galactic Federation talk.
Yeah, no, it's just an idea people have had that, there's different possibilities of aliens out there. There's a theory that there is a federation out there of tons of different alien species, and we're not ready to join it, and they're not allowed to contact us because we're primitive and potentially dangerous.
Cruel.
Yeah. So if there's some species out there that are doing tests like abductions.
That's like honey badger territory. It's Earth. They're like, well, we don't go to that side of the mountain. That's where the honey badger is.
Yeah. I think there's a handful of species out there of alien that are pushing past the lines of intergalactic law.
Oh my God. Okay. We're getting a little out in the weeds here.
We are. But, that's where we get the messages, right?
Yeah, in the weeds.
In the weeds.
Yeah. Way to tie it back.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for listening. This is very fun for us, and we definitely want to keep doing this for you. But we need your support, or else.
Yeah. Listen to this podcast, or else we kill this dog.
Oh my gosh.
That was a Mad Magazine cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was like, buy this magazine or this dog dies.
Leave it to Mad. No, we do appreciate you listening and taking time out of your days to...
Sure, really, what is it to you, though? Like, you're going to be listening to a podcast anyway.
No, not necessarily.
I mean, people that don't listen to podcasts are not going to just listen to a podcast. You podcast listeners, though, you know.
Oh, yeah. They know. But yeah, subscribe to us, follow us. That way you can get updates when we have episodes coming out every other week.
Mm-hmm.
Leave comments and reviews. Get a hold of us if you think we're full of shit or you enjoy us. We'd like to hear both.
Yeah, either way. So we can talk about it on our 34th episode, where we rehash some of the negative criticisms from real life people maybe this time instead of
that'd be nice.
Mean AI.
Yeah, we don't want to have to get all our criticism from AI. We want the real deal.
Yeah, we do. We want the real deal.
That leads us to our teaser for the next episode. So it is the baseline quiz time. Oh my goodness.
What the fuck is this?
Project Stargate. I have no idea. Next episode, we are going to talk about Project Stargate. And I know nothing. Maybe the TV show.
This has MacGyver in it.
Was he in Stargate?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be talking about MacGyver and Stargate and the portal to go to other Earths.
Yeah.
Maybe? No. Project. So it's probably a government project. And they always name them really cool, like the Immaculate Constellation.
I think this was named after the movie.
Maybe. Well, let's find out. So, first question. What was Project Stargate? A classified mission to traverse a wormhole in Utah. B, a failed NASA experiment to teach chimpanzees to pilot spacecraft. C, a top secret program to research psychic viewing. Or D, a secret project to build a portal based on Egyptian hieroglyphics.
That's the movie. Or the show, whatever. I'm going to say, I think it's wormhole related.
Okay. I mean, that is, from my viewing of the show and movie, it would probably be wormhole.
So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say a classified mission to traverse a wormhole in Utah.
Okay.
I don't know shit about actual Project Stargate, though. These are 100% guesses, and I 100% did not cheat. Or did I?
Just recently saw something about psychic viewing, but I don't know if this was part of that project. But I'm going to say C, psychic. Top secret program to research psychic viewing.
Just based on
hope. Because I like...
Because you don't want to answer the same as me, because I historically get these wrong. And you're like, perfect. You just narrowed my choices down from four to three. That's a little easier
I want
choice.
This. I didn't read much about the psychic viewing, but from what I saw, it was just like, what? Ugh. So I'm hoping that this is what it is.
Okay.
So next question. Why did the government invest millions in this project? A, the Soviets were trying the same thing, so they wanted to beat them to it.
Okay, so that phrasing right there. Okay, well, let's get through it, and then I'll work my way through the answers. But go ahead.
B, a congressman had a dream about it and convinced his colleagues to move forward. C, an independent test subject in Cuba successfully predicted the future. Or D, the project was inspired by a president's secret meeting with aliens. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so that first one, the Soviets, that definitely puts it in the 80s. The Soviet Union's not around anymore. And that first question doesn't say when.
No, it was a what?
When Project Stargate started. So I guess I can't rule that out. Congress had a dream about it and convinced his colleagues to move forward. I hate that answer. I really hate that answer.
Yeah, that made me mad.
Yeah.
Because if it was true, which, I mean, things like that have probably happened, that's, ugh.
I hate it.
I'm going to go, which lines up with the psychic viewing, was the future one.
Mm-hmm.
An independent test subject in Cuba successfully predicted the future.
Okay. I'm struggling with this one because I don't like how reactionary Stargate sounds. If, the Soviets were doing it and we're just like, well, but I guess that's kind of how our entire space program started.
Yeah.
So maybe I also don't really like president having a secret meeting with aliens. I just think that's wild. I'm going to do the Soviets. They were trying the same thing.
Okay.
Same thing being, who knows, a wormhole? Maybe.
Next question. One declassified idea for using remote viewing in combat was, does that mean I was on the right train? Predicting enemy movements by reading chicken bones.
What?
B, using mind bullets to incapacitate enemies. C, teleporting military units via telekinesis. Or D, staring at goats until they die.
That's really funny. There is a movie, Men Who Stare at Goats. It's really funny. It's about psyops, which is that was a real thing. I'm going to do that.
The goats?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like mind bullets too, though.
Mind bullets.
Yeah.
The chicken bone one seems a little... I'm going to go with goats too. I mean, they're all weird.
They're weird.
They're all weird.
I mean, we're getting into some weird ass shit here.
Yeah.
This is fun. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Where did famous remote viewer Joe McMoneagle physically travel to? A, the Palace of Versailles in 1793. B, the lost city of Atlantis. C, ancient, once inhabited Mars. Or D, the center of the earth. I know this answer.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you want me to answer first then?
Yeah.
Lost City of Atlantis.
Okay. I am going to say ancient, once inhabited Mars.
Okay.
That was the 2-paragraph thing I read about this.
Looks here as though I said ancient, once inhabited Mars too.
Oh, how convenient. All right, next question. Which of the following remote viewing operations actually worked? A, locating a downed Soviet bomber in Africa. B, predicting the fall of the Berlin Wall. C, finding Saddam Hussein's hiding place. Or D, identifying the location of missing CIA agents. I'm blown away that one of these worked, or any of these. So I'm going to say identifying the location of missing CIA agents. I'm going to say that.
Okay. I'm going to say finding Saddam Hussein's hiding place.
Seriously? I mean, yeah. I mean, it could if it's real.
He was just in a hole. I'm serious. He was in like a hole in the middle of the desert. So people knew he was there. And I feel like I read that somewhere. At least they got him.
That,
they got
psychics
them close.
Found him?
Yeah.
Interesting. I do not know. All right. Last question. How many different names and iterations did the U.S. government's remote viewing program go through? A, 1, Project Stargate was the only official program. B, 3, it changed a few times but was mostly consistent. C, 5, different agencies kept renaming and restructuring it. Or D, more than 10, it went through so many names it was hard to keep track.
I think I'm going to go with 1 because Project Stargate sounds fucking rad.
It does.
And I think they're like one and done.
Can't change it. My nephew came up with this name.
Yeah. Roland Emmerich movie.
I'm going to say more than 10.
Okay.
Because That way it would be messy and hard to track.
Okay.
All right, let's view our accuracy.
Damn. Yep. Obviously, I was wrong because all other questions were about remote viewing.
What was Project Stargate?
Mhm.
It was a top secret program to research psychic viewing.
I wanted it to be about wormholes. God damn it.
Yeah.
Maybe a future episode.
Why did the government invest millions in this project? You were right.
Yeah,
the Soviets were trying the same thing.
So they wanted to beat them to it. Of course, never, Josh, never outrule spite.
That's true. Yeah, I said it was the test subject in Cuba successfully predicted the future. I was wrong. We just wanted to beat the Soviets. Next one.
Man, I knew it. I was right. I knew it. It's the funniest one, and it was right.
One declassified idea for using remote viewing in combat was
staring at goats until they died.
That is insane.
That was an actual program, and they made a movie out of it called The Men Who Stare at Goats. It starred George Clooney.
Wow. That's okay. I don't understand it, but I'll take it.
Didn't make any sense. It was a wild ass movie. I remember it was a lot of fun to watch.
We'll have to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. Where did famous remote viewer Joe McMoneagle physically travel to?
Ancient once inhabited Mars? That's what I got. And it's right?
Oh, man, you are on it.
Unprompted.
Wow. Yep. This guy remote viewed into the past at a once inhabited Mars.
Prove it.
I just did.
No.
With my words.
That guy needs to prove it. Prove that he did it.
Well, we'll do the research. We'll figure it out. Which of the following remote viewing operations actually worked?
Mm-hmm.
I said identifying a missing CIA agent. You said Saddam Hussein. The answer was locating a downed Soviet bomber in Africa. Last question. How many different names and iterations did the U.S. government remote viewing program go through? The answer was more than 10. Probably for that reason I was saying. They just want to make it messy and confusing, which checks out. That's what they do to the finances as well. Let's make it real messy. Yes. Okay, well, this is going to be a blast.
I'm going to start doing that to our pets. Just rename them every day just to make it confusing for everybody.
They'll just stop responding to you.
Just gaslight everybody in my house.
Yeah.
And the dogs.
Well, I'm stoked. This was my hope at the very beginning of the quiz that we would talk about this. I don't know really anything. I literally read 2 paragraphs and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited. I want to know everything there is to this. I'm going to do a lot of research and you're going to be a believer.
I will push back on that a little bit. I don't want this, anybody out there, or you even, Josh, I don't want this to seem like a combative podcast. I don't want you to feel like you have to convince me and I have to be skeptical of everything you say, because that's not how I'm approaching this podcast.
Yeah.
I am trying to be open-minded. There is just a lot of things that I'm going to push back on.
And I appreciate it.
I do believe in aliens. We've talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things out there that I have a hard time wrapping my head around. And I'm not a 100% believer like you are.
No, I appreciate it because it actually opens my mind up to...
That's what I want from you, Josh. I just want you to think about things a little more critically.
Yeah, and I have been.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate it. It's expanding my mind.
We're both growing.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening and have a great...
Oh, do you want to thank Jordan, our researcher, for music? And
oh, yeah. And we want to thank Jordan, our researcher, for music. And
you rule.
And yeah, you do rule. Everything you do.
Well, I was saying to you, Josh, but yes, Jordan, you rule too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't be where we are without you. So thank you very much. And Travis, you rule.
Oh, thank you.
I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Oh, man.
But man, this guy's coughing in the mic a lot.
Yeah, I was clearing my throat.
Yeah, this is like editing really hard.
To get attention.
Yeah, you're just trying to get me.
Yep, here I am derailing the podcast yet again, right at the end as we're trying to say goodbye.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.